Okay, so to start this video, I just need to say that some of this stuff isn't going to make any sense. And if I go too deep into it, I'll be talking far too much, okay? Just understand that some of this stuff I'm going to talk through, which is the NFL offseason dates for 2018, which sounds extremely boring, but some of this stuff is extremely good, entertaining, and will help you have a good foundation of knowledge for when the season starts in September, okay? So I'm going to be saying things which you don't necessarily understand, but don't worry. Hopefully, some of you will be catching this video a little bit later down the line, and I've done other videos to help pad out this. If you're watching straight away, God bless you, and also, I'm sorry. So, on the 2nd to the 5th of March, there's something called the NFL Combine. Really simply, it's where the players who are coming from college football to go to the NFL, so the young guys, go somewhere to impress the teams that are potentially going to be picking them for that season. So that's March the 2nd to the 5th, Combine in Indianapolis, if that matters to you. March the 14th is free agency. So when players come to the end of their contracts, sometimes the team can't afford to keep them because there's a salary cap in the NFL. We'll get to that another time. So free agency is an important day because sometimes you get really good big players go on to sort of the open market, and your team potentially, if you're stuck, can go and get some of these players. So that's the 14th of March. If you are following a team already, like that sort of thing, you know, and you're following their social media, they'll be keeping you all up to that. But we'll do a video on that as well. March 14th also signifies the start of the new league year. Not that important, but yeah. March 25th to 28th is a league meeting. So all the owners from each team meet in one place. I think it's in Orlando this year. And they vote on different rule changes that they have the ideas for. Okay, so someone might come up with a different idea of a rule. They do each year. They go for about 3 each, I think, and they vote for it. It's good to follow because you can learn some stuff about your team because there's often press conferences and things like that. And also, yeah, you learn about the rule changes ahead of time. On this list, this is probably the most boring thing, but I wanted to highlight it. April 26th to 28th, the draft. So, as I was saying earlier, that the players come from college to the NFL. The way that they get into the NFL is they go through the NFL draft. Okay, so the worst team from last season was the Cleveland Browns. They get number 1 pick, so they will get the best player if they pick well in college football, which will help their franchise to get better. The best team, Philadelphia Eagles, have the 32nd pick because, in theory, they don't need the best player because they're already very good. Great thing about the NFL, they'd like to make it competitive. Maybe this is why the sport's great. May the 4th to the 7th or the 11th to the 14th is rookie minicamps. So the players that come from this do this for the first time. So until that point, you would have seen a few interviews maybe, but this is the first time you see them on the field. First impressions, you know, all that is important. Basically, it's a little bit of NFL back as well. There's training. You get to see someone throwing a ball. It feels great. Mid-July, so there's a bit of a gap here, but there is some little bits in between. Mid-July, training camp start. So basically, hey, everyone, let's start getting ready for the season. Always good, lots of stories, lots of injuries as well, which is terrible because as the season starts, you're excited for your new team, new players, and the team that's coming back. And often there is a few big injuries in this time, and they'll miss the whole season. If you're a Ravens fan, as I am, last year was a terrible time. Year before, terrible time because everyone kept getting injured. August the 2nd, Hall of Fame game. So in the NFL, each year, players get inducted to the Hall of Fame. It's pretty neat. And they'd play a game between 2 teams to celebrate it. This also signifies the first set of preseason games. So for 4 weeks, you have preseason games, teams heading off against each other. It's good. Football's back. Your team will have a deep roster at that stage. They'll have a 92 or 93-man roster at that stage. Preseason games are fantastic because they all play. You don't really see the veterans very much and things like that. We'll get into that another time. But it's important because you get to see your depth play and you get to understand some of the players you know. Oh my goodness. So September the 1st is the 53-man cut down. So you have a big roster through all this period because you bring in new players, you bring in people who are trying to prove themselves. Some of them won't make it. Some of them will be very close. So that's the period when you make your 53-man roster, okay? It's important because other teams won't be able to keep all their veterans and things like that because of salary cap reasons, and also some of them might not be playing very well, which means some players go onto the open market. And again, it leads to some good little pickups. September the 6th to the 9th to the 10th. That doesn't make sense. September the 6th and the 9th and the 10th is the start of the NFL season. So what we've all been waiting for, all the preparation goes down to here. So Philadelphia Eagles will be playing somebody on the Thursday because the winners of the Super Bowl always start the season on the 6th. That's a Thursday night. The 9th is a Sunday, and the 10th, there'll be one game on Monday Night Football. But the NFL will be back. In this period, there's going to be videos about all these different things, okay? And in between, plenty of other videos explaining plenty of other things. Hope you enjoyed this video. Pretty crazy. I recorded it once before and I was like, okay, you're going too deep into a lot of these things. But yeah, if you have any questions, whack them in the comments and I'll help you as much as I possibly can, which I think will be a sufficient amount. Otherwise, bear with me. As I said, note these things down. You're not going to understand some of it now, but you want to just follow on as you go. See you soon.